This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gator Light, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gator Light hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you are the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. I'm so happy you decided to join us. Before we get started today, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the number one shoe machine in the market. I've said this multiple times. We own 3 of them. I want a 4th and a 5th. My AAD's listening to me, but they're so great. They work so well. They're so easy to set up. I think my record is 37 seconds or 32 seconds to set it up. But mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off. Mention Coach Collins, they'll take really good care of you. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. This is a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's everything you need from a nationally ranked. We won 3 state titles. I think we were just talking recently. We've won over 460 games in our program and lost 130 over the last 20 years. And I think we know the secret sauce to be successful, the roadmap, what it takes on and off the court. So go over and check it out and enjoy the podcast. Bye. There's going to be a theme over the next couple of months leading into some stuff we're doing in teachhoops.com and some of our partners. But thinking of things in terms of threes is something we do because if you've done brain studies on that, people tend to remember things in threes much easier. But today I'm going to talk about 3 things that you need to think about when you're doing practice. Probably be more than 3 things, but so when you're teaching skills inside of practice, I think as coaches we have to break that down into smaller pieces. So I think about my classroom as similar to thinking about my as the court. You have to, and again, this goes back to what we've been talking about, all the small-sided games. There is a time that you have to teach technique and skill. Okay. And it has to be an in-depth one. If I'm teaching you the quadratic formula, there's a time where I have to do 30, 40 minutes of teaching you that technique or that specific skill and the reasoning and the stuff behind it. It's similar in practice. So I break it up into 3 steps. The first one has to be technique and skill. And at that's I won't say it's the only time, but it's the time where you'll hear my voice. A lot of times in practice, you will not hear my voice. But that will be one time where you will hear my voice because I will be doing what I refer to as a deep dive into a specific technique or a specific skill. Okay. Then what we do is we go and work on that one specific skill. So maybe we're working on a specific type of box out or a specific offensive move, or we'll work on that one technique and we will break it down into that one specific skill or one specific technique. We won't what I refer to in statistics is put other lurking variables out there. I will teach you the technique. I will let you rep in game-like situations on that one skill. Maybe it's a crossover. Maybe it's a box out. Some one skill. And as we get good and maybe we've got some higher level learners, we'll add a second one, but no more than two. We'll work and we'll rep that one skill. Then we will move into competition on that skill and small-sided games and how we can work on it. So the levels go technique, skill. Okay, so you got to work on the quadratic formula. You have to work on your jab step. Then we'll work and we'll rep that one skill. Different times, depending on the age, sometimes we'll walk it, and then we'll go 50%, and then we'll go 100% on that one skill, depending on how all my teaching was that day. And then we'll do things where we'll do a 2-on-2 or a 1-on-1 drill or something where they can learn by doing. Okay. That is what I refer to as my deep dive. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do one specific thing early in the season, one specific skill set, like on ball handling. And then what I'll do is we won't come back and spend another 30, 40 minutes on that one skill. We'll spend small little pieces on that skill over time that will allow our guys to become, or gals, to become better at it. Deep learning takes more time. Superficial learning doesn't take more time. And if you go, if you go from a rebounding drill to an offensive drill to a passing drill to a pressing, that doesn't, at some point you need deep dives into it. So I'm not going to get into Twitter fights with people about only small-sided games or only this, but I've done enough reading that deep learning takes time, takes reps, takes the ability to make mistakes, the ability for us to not talk so much and to correct. That's a subcategory, and that will be on a future podcast. But deep learning takes more time. Okay, then you can come back once they've had that deep learning, once they've learned that skill set, once they've learned that thing and they don't have to think anymore. Then we can come back and do short touch points. Now, in the learning process, sometimes, and when we want to think outside the box, which will be something else we'll talk about, we've got to push that fixed mindset and get it into the growth mindset. But after the deep learning has gone on, then we can go back and look at short touch points and little reviews. Like I do it in my math class all the time. We'll come back. And it's just kind of this circling back. I always love when they say, in some of my, especially when I taught like pre-calc or algebra 2, and it would be second semester, big exam. They'll go, do we need to remember stuff from first semester, Mr. Collins? I'll go, yeah. I mean, hopefully we've been repeating it and practicing it along the way, but you're still using adding that you learned in elementary school in your junior level math class. So I think when we think, and we'll do more with practices and kind of how practices are broken down, but drill from needs to be broken down. I'll give you in future weeks, I'll give you some really cool things we do with our practice that I think are pretty unique. But I'm going to challenge all of you. So I gave you some big things to think about in terms of practice and as in terms of building skill. I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. I'm going to challenge you to customize your drills to your team and your players. That's not an easy thing. You can go on the web. We are information overload. But all of the good drills that I do, I've customized them and I've tweaked them for my teams, like how we do our warm-ups, how we do, how we teach our defense, how we teach our offense. Every team is a little different. Just like every one of my classes, I can go in and teach algebra 2, but they're all going to be a little different. And how I can convey that specific skill to them is different from year to year. That's why teaching isn't a boring thing. So I'll leave you with that. Challenge yourself. I'm going to challenge you to customize your specific drills for your team. I'm also going to challenge you to less is more in practice. Less is more when building a practice plan. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that in terms of time. I want you to think about that in terms of drills. I want you to think in terms of everything you do in practice. Less is more. Okay, so you got a lot of things to think about. Hopefully these are helpful, and have a great day, everybody. Bye. Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to hear more of these, go over and join teachhoops.com. 14-day free trial allows us to do this, and then subscribe, like, jump up and down, do whatever you got to do. Tell us what you want to hear in the future. Steve@teachhoops.com. All right. Have a great day.
Thinking about upgrading your sleep? Now is the time to shop Sleep Number. Trusted by millions for nearly 40 years, Sleep Number offers superior comfort, personalized adjustability, temperature benefits, and value that is unmatched in the industry. And right now, during the Sleep Number Labor Day sale, all mattresses are on sale. Invest in your sleep and experience firsthand Sleep Number's personalized comfort. Stop by a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com to learn more.